Okay, so we're here with Beachy, and we're up here for Veterans Health Week 2024, which runs from the 13th to the 20th of October. So Beachy, can you tell me, how did you get involved with Veterans Week?
Started off with through the Military Brotherhood Motorcycle Club. We'd heard about it and we'd asked about it, and my wife and I both do a bit of art. She does glass art and I do metal art, and we thought, well, it'd be a good way to connect with other veterans and get veterans involved in some mental health practice using art as a form of therapy.
And you mentioned you and your wife, so you have your own little business?
I wouldn't call it a business. It's more like a cottage industry. It's we call ourselves Tongue and Sheep Creations. She's the sheep part and I'm the tongue part.
Like Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, so she does glass art like that bottle there, you know, and I do the metal art. So, and sometimes we do collaborations where I do a bit of metal and she incorporates some glass work into it.
And this is now your second year of being involved with Veterans Week?
Yes, it is. Yeah, we had a bit of a test last year to see how well it would run, and we had a little bit of interest. We had a few people turn up, but one of the problems was we left our run a little bit late to get it in there, and it wasn't until the very last week that was advertised, and so numbers were down. But numbers are up quite well this year. DVA were very happy to give me a call the other day to see if we'd be interested in having the media come out and do a story on us. Yet to hear from them, but hopefully they'll turn up on Wednesday when we've managed to run both the glass class and the metal class at the same time, so it should be good.
So mate, how does it work? How does somebody get enrolled into one of your classes?
Basically, all they've got to do is keep an eye out. Veterans Health Week is run every year in October, so keep eyes and ears to the ground. And there's plenty of things happening all over the country, not just the state. So DVA have on their website a list of activities per state. They have things like bingo nights and just mental health checks, and come out and see us here and there and all that sort of stuff. But because we're actually doing something that actually involves a little bit of activity, and at the end of it all, you create something and have a sense of achievement, which is one of the things I think that I found when I got out the army, that having that sense of achievement sort of disappeared by the wayside at times. And it's also a chance to reconnect with other veterans and also get involved with the community through this form of art that Anne and I do now. I've connected quite well with the local gallery to the point where they actually commissioned me to make a piece of public art to go on display at the front of the gallery. And I've had several people ask me about doing exhibitions at their lavender farm and wineries and other sorts of stuff. So yeah, pretty happy with the way it's turned out over the last 5 or 6 years. And mate,
do you have to pay for this, or how does that work?
No, well, DVA actually came up with some funding for it, which is good. It certainly helps. It doesn't cover all the costs, but it'll certainly help to cover some of the costs as far as materials are concerned, and also, we provide a lunch as well with this, so it helps to cover the cost of lunches as well.
Yeah, you mentioned before that it's for veterans, but I believe that emergency services are taken to them as well.
The focus this year is all about connection, and it's about connection with everybody, connection with the community. And as most military members would know, when they're in the service, that they connect with the community in several areas, whether it be firefighting, flood relief, working with emergency services. We have a lot of respect for the emergency services. They put their lives on the line every day for us, and I'm quite happy to involve those emergency services in these classes as well. I think it's a good way to have that connection with the community through the emergency services as well.
Yeah. And then the classes, how long do they go for?
Depending on which class it is, on average between 3 to 4 hours, depending on how good the people are that are doing it.
So we're going to be here for about 6 hours.
So yeah, with some people we could be here for the whole week. And with others we could have been finished about an hour ago.
So Richard, how did you hear about this?
I think I just put on through a Facebook page just to reach out for anyone that does any metalwork, blacksmithing type work actually. My memory's a bit rusty on this. I think, Adrian, you contacted me and you just welcomed me to come here to check out your workshop. So I gladly came along. So not too many people. I've taken up blacksmithing type work as a hobby. Not too many people around Metro Adelaide do it. So Adrian welcomed me to come to his workshop a few weeks back and then talked to me about the workshop today and the Veterans Affairs, etc. And I'm a copper myself, and I believe this sort of work is absolutely important for anyone, military, frontline workers, anyone just as a community, as a escape from your job, mental health. So yeah, I come and visit Adrian and he welcomed me back to this workshop and I thought, well, I'll take up the opportunity. And it's a lovely drive from where I live, Metro Adelaide too. It's much nicer. Yeah.
Well, thanks fellas. We'll show a couple of pieces that Adrian's made, a couple of emus, kangaroos still here, and we'll throw that up on the site. But yeah, Veterans Health Week, get involved and come along. Thanks very much.
So this is what we're going to be making today, and it'll be mounted into a stand like that, and there'll be no welding, so it's all going to be hand hammered and all going to be hand forged and bent over so that it all locks in together. So we start off with some cutouts, and I've already got these all ready for you to start with, and what we'll do is we'll hammer some texture in. So we use a cross peen hammer, we put the texture in on both sides, on the bigger leaf and on the outside of the smaller leaf. And there'll be a reason for that later. So when we assemble them, they go like that, and then the top leaf, like that, and then you settle it down the bottom, make sure that goes in the right way so that there is empty underneath, or you can hammer it both sides depending on how your arms go. Alright? So what we'll do to start with is we'll get these here, we'll give these a bit of a texture. So if you look at this one here, this is pretty plain, pretty boring. But if you want to give it that weathered look, at that age look, and give it a few bash marks, or even use a ball peen hammer and put ball peen marks all the way through it, just to give it a bit of texture. So you go from being a flat piece of steel to hammered out like that. And when you stick it, you've got to make sure that you don't have the rocks in it. So you've got to hammer it out so that it sits flat. Alright? So what we'll do is we'll get the one of the forges fired up. I think we use the farriers. You see the type of texture you can put into it. You don't have to do that, but I think it looks pretty cool actually. So while it's got that reddish colour to it, it'll hammer out quite well. Try to avoid hitting too close to that centre hole though. It's already drilled. Probably should have been drilled afterwards, but it's a lot easier to drill it while it's cold. Alright, so they'll have to go back in again and have a bit more of a heat. When it's on, but I'll have to get off the tube. up, and that's it. Okay, that's enough. Then the same on that end there. So just put it on there to see how it sits. Just give it a whack in the middle. Okay. More. How's that?
Pretty nice.
Beautiful. Right, now that can cool down now, so you can leave that one there. Same on that one. Now this one, so they've all got 5, but this one here's got 4, so it really doesn't matter. Just sort of get it so that it's pretty much in the middle there. And then what we need to do is heat that up and pin that down, which is just like riveting.
Yeah.
Have you done riveting out the other forge yet or not?
I've tried a little bit. It's not great. I've made a couple of tongs.
Yeah.
And riveted. They work, but I haven't done enough to make them look nice.
Yeah.
And not with a torch like that. Just chuck it in the forge, heat it, and then that's much better.
So that there is now rock solid. Alright, so while you've still got heat there, then we start rolling things up. This is where... So when you roll them up, you've got to make sure, once again, you overlap them. So heat up from the middle, and then bring it up and tilt it to one side so that goes in. Right?
Oh, so curve on both sides.
Yep.
Cool.
So up and curl that side. Alright, I'll do this first one for you, Polly. Now this is where it gets tricky, because this one here has to go out a little bit
So they can go in.
so the other one can go in.
Do you mind?
Yep. So you're not going to get the whole thing. You have a look at that one there.
Yeah, but you don't want it perfect though.
No, and that's it. Each one's going to be different. If you have a look at a rose, you'll never find 2 roses exactly the same. All right, and then from there you just progress into the next one and the next one and the next one. All right, so I'll leave that with you and let you do that. And I think I had another bloody tin here somewhere. sometimes I think maybe it's all these, it's just the drag these.
And the rose takes shape.
Sorry?
And the rose takes shape.
Kind of holds the bottom.
So you're going to put thorns on it?
Horns.
Oh, you already got a prick attached.
Already got a prick attached. There's the one holding the torch.
That's it.
Because these are so tight, it's really hard to try and get them to do what you
Hand there or anything, mate?
Sorry?
Yell out if you need another hand or anything.
Probably to hold the torch, mate, so I can bend these out. So I'm just heating up the lips.
Just let me turn.